You know, I've been waiting and looking for a good reason to open up this cup. And guess what I'm about to do? I'm about to open up this cup. Damn, look how easy that was. That was nothing. I need to fill this with something, right? Yeah, let's do that. Once again, Captain America, Winter Soldier, the review. We're getting into it right now. America.
Strong and brave, here to save.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Steve Sands, and it's my job to prepare you for the big blockbuster that comes out in 2008, May 2008, Avengers Infinity War. This is Infinity Watch, and once again, it's my job to get you ready. So, if you notice, I'm going to be drinking out of this cup, which I just opened up, fresh. It's a Captain America cup. Where did I get it? That's for me to know, and for you to probably find out, because I often spill the beans on stuff that I do all the time. Anyway, you will notice I'm wearing a scarf. Just to let you know, it is June, the end of June at that. I want to say it's about 90 degrees outside, and I don't have AC up in my attic, so it's very hot. I don't know if I'm going to continue this, but I just want to give you the theatrical impression and for you to understand why I'm wearing a scarf. We're talking about the Winter Soldier, Captain America, Winter Soldier. Ooh, it's cold. That was whack. Anyway, let's go. Yeah, I got rid of the scarf. It's way too hot for that. Anyway, so we're gonna open this movie at the reflecting pool in DC. We see my man Sam Wilson doing his laps, getting his jog on, the first time we're seeing him in the MCU. And of course, we see Captain America. Captain America runs by him and says, "On your left." Cool, no problem. We get to another scene. Still running. Sam's still running, doing his jog. Captain America runs through for a second time. On your left. Okay, that's a little bit too much. Third time, my man is running hard. Captain America, on your left. I'm saying, yo, dude, come on, man. That's just messed up. Why are you running by me 3 times? Are you trying to show off? Are you trying to tell me something? Everybody knows you're a super soldier, but you feel the need to do that in front of me. Why? It makes no sense. Anyway, we see at the end where the two of them, they're talking. They're having a little banter going back and forth. I like it. It's a good way for these two characters to introduce each other and to get to know each other in a way that you won't naturally do that with anybody else. But Captain America is so open and so free with himself as far as his identity. He's out in the open doing his own thing. My girl comes through, Scarlett Johansson. Oh, Black Widow rolls through with a black Corvette, picks up my man Cap for a mission. The way she was looking. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. All right, now we see my man Captain America in a plane, and my man just jumps out the plane while the rest of his crew is getting on their harnesses and their parachutes. He jumps out the plane, he lands on the boat, and he has to go through. Now, their mission is to get these hostages out the grasp of I forget where they're from, but some terrorists. We're gonna call them some terrorists. This part of the movie is the opening action part of the movie. This part was phenomenal, hands down phenomenal. We see Captain America using all of his strength. We see him throwing guys, punching dudes, kicking dudes. He kicked this one dude so hard, he flew off the side of the boat. I was like, yo, when did you get all this leg strength? But Captain America is just beating up everybody, and then the rest of his crew finally comes down. Everybody has their missions, they're doing what they gotta do. But Black Widow has a separate mission, separate from everybody else. We see them isolate everybody, take down everybody, and then there's a fight scene between Captain America and this particular guy. The name escapes me. We don't really get much more information on him. He is a guy from the comics. He is a character from the comics. He's this guy. There you have it. Now, we get a little bit further on. This fight was pretty cool, was pretty good. Hand to hand, the choreographed hand-to-hand fight motion. Oh man, that was unbelievable. I couldn't even think of the words. It was so good. Anyway, we're getting through everything, and finally we get to the end of the mission, and Captain America saves everybody. The crew is saved. Everybody's saved. But Captain America has a problem. The fact that Black Widow had a separate mission on top of the mission that they were doing. And if he cannot trust his own teammates, how can he be trusted with leading on missions? So we get back to the stateside, and Captain America confronts Nick Fury, basically asking him, yo man, how you gonna have me do this if you have other people doing this? And pretty much they have a little back and forth as well. Captain America and Nick Fury then go down to the lower level, where we're seeing these helicarriers, and we're seeing these new helicarriers, and they're being installed with something called Insight. Insight is a program that SHIELD is going to use to isolate terrorists wherever they are on the planet. It will be able to scan and shoot down anybody, anywhere. Captain America has a big problem with this because morally it's not right for you to do that. You have to bring people in, they have to be tried, and then they have to be put to jail or whatever. If we're doing this, we're being judge, jury, and executioner all at once. Captain wants no parts of it. So Captain keeps it moving. Now, we're getting to the point where Nick Fury is starting to question that as well. So he wants to find out some information, but he can't get through some information because he's blocked off by himself. I'm telling you, this movie was very trippy. If you're into the spy stuff, this movie was very trippy. Now, we're meeting for the first time Alexander Pierce. Now, Alexander Pierce is, I believe, his title or role is pretty much, I want to say if SHIELD, I guess you could call him the CEO of SHIELD, to that extent, or deputy director or something to that effect. Now, he's getting there. That was rude. Anyway, he's getting there. He's talking to these officials, to this panel. We can only assume that this is the same panel that we saw in the Avengers, but we're going to say that they're different characters, whatever the case may be. Anyway, he's talking to them, and he's pretty much letting them know that, hey, listen, we're going to go forward with everything that we're doing. I understand that Nick Fury is doing this mission, and this was a very complicated mission, but we should continue on with what we're doing as far as Insight is concerned. Now, Nick Fury goes up to Alexander Pierce and he says, hey, can you put off Insight for a little bit? I don't feel comfortable just yet with launching it. I need to work out some kinks. So he says, yeah, sure, yeah, we can do that, but just make sure Iron Man comes through for my niece's birthday party, which was weird, but okay, yeah. So we get now to, we're skipping a little bit ahead because I want to get to this scene. This scene was awesome as well. Now, Nick Fury is rolling in his this Jeep, and he's calling Hill, Agent Hill. He's like, yo, I need you here at DC. She says I can get there in, I don't know, 8 hours or something like that. He said make it 3. I don't know, something unrealistic, but that's him. So of course, cops roll up on him, and then they just go berserk. So they're trying to get into his vehicle. They crash into him. They're using this batarang to try to blow open the door, bust open the glass. And in the meantime, Nick Fury is talking to his car. His car is making all these adjustments. And then soon as the time is right, I don't know what kind of machine gun this was, but this machine gun took out everything. The thing had propulsors, it had cannons. It was crazy. It was crazy. All this came out, and then the car was driving itself. So he was driving himself, and then we see this car chase in DC, and this car chase was unbelievable. You see a bunch of policemen trying to get, these are not policemen by the way, but they're trying to get Nick Fury. They're trying to get him and move him to a different location and kill him or whatever they're trying to do. Now, Nick Fury takes out all of these cops, and he hits the corner and he's driving. He says these words, "Get me off the grid." And then as soon as he says these words, you see a silhouette. You see a man approaching this vehicle. He sends off a shot, something goes underneath, blows up the truck is on his back, and this guy is walking towards Nick Fury. Nick Fury has another thing up his sleeves, cuts open a hole into the ground, he drills into the ground, he's out of there. But we see our first glimpse of the Winter Soldier, and we already see that he is a badass right off the top. So we're moving forward. Captain America gets back to his home. He's walking through. He sees this young lady. They're talking. She ends up being Sharon Carter, but we're not going to know that just yet. Spoilers? Whatever. So he gets back in. He gets into his apartment. The music is on. He sees Nick Fury chilling on his chair. He's talking to Nick Fury. Nick Fury is saying, yo, SHIELD is compromised. Something is wrong. So he stands up. He's talking to him. A couple shots ring off. through the wall, through Nick Fury. Nick Fury hits the ground. Nick says, "Don't trust anyone," gives him a flash drive. Now, Captain is looking up. The same woman that he was talking to bust in and say, "Hey, I'm Agent 13. I'm here on orders to protect you from him." Well, by him, which is Nick Fury. So, Cap is now, he doesn't know what's going on, but then he sees the shooter running off, so he's in hot pursuit. This next chase, awesome. Now, he's running to catch up to Winter Soldier. He's running through this office building. He's busting through the doors. He's breaking through the walls. This is just showing how strong Captain America really is. So now as he's running, he busts through the glass as Winter Soldier jumps down. He throws his shield. Winter Soldier turns around and does this. Tell me that isn't the baddest thing you've ever seen. My man caught the shield and threw it right back at Captain, saying, "Yo, this is your most powerful weapon." It's nothing. So we get to the hospital where Nick Fury is fighting for his life. Hill is here. Black Widow is there. They're all watching this, and then unfortunately, flatline. And we're assuming that Nick Fury is gone. So everyone is in a bad state. Black Widow walks away, and Cap tries to console her. She says, "What was Fury doing in your home?" He says, "I don't know." She says, "You're a bad liar." So they keep it moving. The flash drive that he had on him, he has to go back to S.H.I.E.L.D. So he puts the flash drive in a vending machine. He heads back to S.H.I.E.L.D. A couple of things happen in S.H.I.E.L.D. People don't believe him. There's a crazy elevator scene where there's a bunch of guards. There's at least 20 guys in there, and Captain America beats up 20 guys inside of a small elevator. I can't even talk. It didn't even make sense. But beast mode, straight beast mode. My man comes out, hops on his motorcycle. He's out of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's gone. Now all of these agents are told that they have to find Steve Rogers and kill him, because he is an enemy now of S.H.I.E.L.D. And they're trying to say the reason why is because he has information as to why Nick Fury was killed, and because of this information he doesn't want to share it, which was all a lie to try to get Captain America out the way. So as Cap goes back to the hospital to get the flash drive is just gone, and he sees Black Widow behind him. Now, they have a little back and forth. She says, "Listen, there was a guy who shot me, the person I was guarding, shot him through me, the whole thing, but people call him the Winter Soldier." Now this is the first time we're given the name Winter Soldier. So now they're going to look for Winter Soldier. So they're going to use a flash drive. They go to this local mall. They go to an Apple store, plug it in, and they say as soon as we plug this in, S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be behind us. So they started looking to see where the origination or the origins for this particular flash drive is, and they find out it's a place in New Jersey. This scene was hilarious. The dude walks over, this Apple genius comes over, says, "Can I help you with anything?" They're like, "No, we're just looking for some spots for our honeymoon, and we're looking at Jersey." So he says, "Okay." And he looks at Cap. Cap looks at him, and he says, "I got the same exact glasses." So Cap says, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then Black Widow says, "Oh, you're basically twins." He's like, "I wish." The guy, he's a specimen. Man, it's hilarious. His face, his look, hilarious. Anyway, of course, they come through. They're in the mall. They get out the mall. Black Widow and Cap get out the mall, and now they're on their way to Jersey. Now we're going to see some fruits, some seeds fruited here or planted here, so that way we can understand what kind of relationship that they have. They have like a brother-sister type relationship. At first it looked like it was a little sexual, but it turned out that it wasn't. That's just who Black Widow is. She's very flirtatious. That's just who she is. And we see a little bit more about that here. So they're talking, they're on their way to New Jersey. They finally get to New Jersey, which is the original naval base that Captain America was trained. So he was there. They were looking. They see this bunker. He says this bunker is a little bit too close to the base. This is in the wrong spot. So they break in. They get in. Now they get through and they realize that this is an underground spot for S.H.I.E.L.D. They see pictures of the original Howard Stark, the young Howard Stark, and they see one of Peggy Carter. Now, you know, a lot of emotions is coming back to Cap because this is where he started. So they turn on everything. They plug in this flash drive, and then Zoloft. Zoloft, we saw from the first movie. We see a whole big explanation. I'm not going to go through all of this because it pretty much does it for me. So take the time to listen and pay attention to this part. We're going to see a lot of stuff from this part that we're going to need for the next few movies. Now, we see where they talk about Howard Stark dying, how he died, what caused him to die. We talk about all the stuff that's been happening in S.H.I.E.L.D. is because of Hydra. So many different things, so little time. Anyway, missile comes firing over to the bunker. They get out of there, barely. They make their way back to Sam Wilson's house. I don't know how they knew where Sam Wilson lived, but okay, we're gonna rock with it. Alexander Pierce is talking to Winter Soldier. We find out that he's a bad guy, which if it wasn't obvious, now we know. So we're getting closer to the end of the movie. So they're talking and they're saying, hey, listen, man, if Captain America needs my help, I'm here to help. This is what Sam Wilson is saying. And he shows them, I need you to get me this because this is my suit. I thought you was pararescue. No, I'm not pararescue. This is what I do. And he is one of two of the original Falcons. He had a partner, his partner died. So you see him put down the thing and it says XO something Falcon. Wonderful. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff you need to pay attention to in this movie. The next movie that's coming out, Spider-Man, I'm just making some connections. Anyway, moving on. So we get to that same weasel-looking agent dude. They find out where he is. He's hugging the senator that we saw in Iron Man 2. He hugs him, and then the senator says, "Hail Hydra." So now we know that he was part of Hydra the entire time. Let's go back real quick. Iron Man 2. This guy was trying so hard to get the Iron Man armor for the for America, but he was really trying to get that armor for Hydra. If they were able to get that, they would have been able to do some damage to certain places and to certain people. So we see that connection right there. Iron Man and Captain America. I'm telling you, this movie is very important. You got to look at all the details. So, moving ahead again. Now we're on the rooftop. Basically, they throw the man off the roof. Falcon comes through, saves him. Falcon shows himself for the first time. He pretty much breaks down everything, and then we get some names dropped. We get the name Bruce Banner. We get the name Stephen Strange. We don't know anything about Stephen Strange yet, but we were told this back in 2003, I believe. 2013, sorry. We are told that Hydra is looking at Stephen Strange. Why would you be looking at Stephen Strange if you did not know what he will be? And that's when he breaks down what Insight is. Insight predicts, the algorithm that Zoloft made predicts people's future. So it was able to look at Stephen Strange and predict that he will soon to become someone great, a threat. And hey, that's what we got. Where is it? Yeah, right there. Boom. Can you see it? All right, there we go. Yeah, so basically, they're on their way back because they're trying to go back to S.H.I.E.L.D. and try to stop all the stuff that Hydra is doing. Sure enough, Winter Soldier comes through, pulls my man out the car, throws him into a passing semi-truck. Yo, vicious. So then we see this big fight going on where the Winter Soldier is trying to get the rest of these guys. He pulls the steering wheel right off the car and it goes crazy. A couple of things are happening. A lot of stuff is happening. I'm not going to break down all that stuff, but I do want to. I do want to break down this one part. The fight, the hand-to-hand fight between Winter Soldier and Captain America was awe-inspiring. These two guys were going head-to-head, switching blow for blow, pound for pound, kicks for kicks. Awesome. And then there was one part where Captain America grabbed the mask, flipped my man's over, threw the mask off. He looks over and he notices something. That's Bucky. Bucky Barnes is the Winter Soldier. Spoiler. Whatever. Anyway, they see him. He sees him for the first time. He says, Bucky. He said, who the hell is Bucky? So already his mind is starting to jolt back just based off of that. So then, sure enough, something happens and he goes running off. Now, we're skipping ahead a little bit. Pretty much, Winter Soldier gets back to the lair. Alexander Pierce says, yo, what happened? He said, yo, the guy from the bridge, he knew me. He said, no, he doesn't know you. You had him. He was in a mission of yours a couple weeks ago. That's why. He said, no, but I knew him. He said, all right, fry his brain. Let's start over. Do that whole thing. So we see that they're putting him back into the state and they're refrying him again. Very important stuff for the next few movies. Now, we get to the part where, okay, everything is about to happen. Inside is about to go live. It's about to launch. We got to stop everything that's happening. Now, while they're doing that, I kind of skipped over one important part, so I'm going to jump back in. They got captured in front of everybody, and as they're going to the location, Hill was one of the people, was one of the guards, comes through, takes into a different location where Nick Fury is alive. Spoiler. Nick Fury is alive. So they organize their plan, they organize what they're going to do to shut down Insight. You got these chips that they're going to put into the ships, and the ships are going to direct their missiles to each other and blow each other out of the sky. So that's what they're going to do. They make their way over to S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, and they're already suited up. My man steals the suit that was in his museum, Captain America, but everybody's suited up, everybody's ready to go. So they get in, they tell everybody, hey listen, Alexander Pierce is the bad guy, he's working with Hydra, and everybody's exposed. So Hydra knows who Hydra is, but S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't know who Hydra is. So their buddy could be Hydra, so Hydra already has the advantage. So a couple of fights are happening, all type of stuff is happening. I just want to talk about this one part. Winter Soldier, this man is vicious. My man is beating up people. He kicks old boy up in the air. There is a propeller on, spinning. He kicks him into the propeller, and all you saw was, oh man, that was madness. Oh my goodness, that was madness. Anyway, a couple of things are happening. Fights are happening. Falcon is all over the place. They're doing what they got to do. My man comes back. Oh man, so much going on. Pretty much, let me slow it down. Okay, my man Nick Fury comes through and says we're gonna override your authority. He says I've deleted everything from your eye, retina, and everything like that. He said, director, if you want to stay ahead of me, you got to keep both eyes open. So he opens up the eye patch with his busted up eye, and he uses his busted up eye for an additional security access, and they pretty much get in. Black Widow exposes everything, puts everything out into the internet. Remember this part. Puts everything out into the internet. Everything that S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra has tried to hide and try to do, everything is now out. All the files for Hydra. So some of the files for Hydra is the Winter Soldier program. Pay attention to all that stuff. Now, we get to the final part of this movie where the third chip that needs to be installed in order for Hill to have these missiles fight each other, Winter Soldier is there. So this last fight is happening. They're going at it. Cap gets shot twice. He's beaten up. They do it at the last minute, as every other movie always do. These things are fighting each other now. The helicarriers are now shooting each other out the sky. Captain America is fighting Winter Soldier. He's saying, listen man, I ain't gonna fight you no more. He throws out his shield. And then Winter Soldier said, you're my mission. I gotta beat you up. Beat him up. He said, go ahead, because I'm with you to the end of the line. And that is something, a callback to what Bucky told Cap when his parents died. He said, hey, listen man, I'm with you to the end of the line. So, there goes your callback. Now, they both fall through. At the end of it, you see Winter Soldier pull Captain out of the water, and he leaves, and he's gone. So, Cap wakes up in the hospital bed. Everybody's been reassigned to different places. Pretty much Nick Fury is saying, yo, I gotta go. There's too many things going on. We gotta fix too many things. Natasha Romanoff, she pretty much said F you to the government, and she kept it moving as well. So at the end of the movie, they're saying, listen man, this is all the information that we have on Bucky Barnes. So this is what we have, this is what you can go by. So he pretty much says to Sam, hey listen man, this is what I'm gonna be doing if you want to tag along. He said, alright, cool. When do we start? And that was the end of the movie. Now, we get to the after credit scenes. The after credit scenes pretty much show the Winter Soldier still around, still moving around, still walking around, still doing this thing. And again, we saw no mention of any type of Infinity Stones, nothing. Nothing to do with the cosmic realm. We kept it right on Earth. If you notice, when we looked at Iron Man 3, it was the same exact thing. Everything was isolated on Earth. We talked about nothing to deal with the Infinity Stones. For Captain America, Earth. Kept it straight Earth. Thor, that was all Infinity Stones. Now, the next movie that we're going to be taking a look at, that's coming up next, is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. Woo! Volume 1. I cannot wait to talk about that movie with you because we're going to go right back into that cosmic realm. If you see how Marvel is doing this, we're seeing Earth, cosmic, Earth, cosmic. There is a pattern. There's a pattern for you to break down and for us to understand what is going to happen and what is going to come through. Man, I tell you, Captain America is probably my top 3 Marvel Cinematic movies of all time. Oh my goodness, this movie is so good, so good. The fight scenes, the acting, everything about this movie was on point. I loved it. I loved it. So, I'm glad you guys stood with me through this hot room. I ain't trying to look at this scarf no more until it's wintertime again. But once again, like, share, subscribe, tell your folks, tell your friends. This is Infinity Watch. I'm your boy C Sams, and once again, go out there and see it. It's out. It's right on my mantle. Enjoy this movie. This movie was off the chart. Stay tuned to the next movie that we're going to talk about. It is going to blow your mind. One more sip. I don't have anything in there. Stamps out.